Lead, inspire, motivate, and empower. Welcome to Lead with DX, your guide to digital transformation in a complex world. Here are your hosts, Lars Jeppesen and Wasantha Wirakuni, the founders of Tech One Global and Enadoc.
So, hello Vasantha.
Yes, Lars, how are you?
I'm pretty good.
Okay.
Yourself?
We are good here. It's quite warm today.
Yeah. Okay. Now we are suddenly seeing a big surge in COVID cases again, right?
Yes.
Like almost every other person I talk to is, I'm sorry, my nose is running in the cold, or I have a bit of fever. But seems it's just like 1 or 2 days that most people are over it.
So they rebrand COVID last. They say that I have a viral flu.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's a good one.
Yeah. So what are we going to discuss today?
Yeah. No, I mean, that actually leads into the discussion of some of the things we have been working on, which is the product that we are going to launch in a few weeks' time. It's we are going to launch, I guess, on September 1st, and we start like internal beta testing, and with a few select people, who are joining in as well, which is our new digital transformation suite, which is called Enadoc Evia. So that's what we are going to talk about today, of course. And when I said it leads into is because one of the things we started out experimenting with during the pandemic was when people are working remotely. What are you doing with signing documents? And signing documents is such an important part of our life still today that having to sign documents physically has become a kind of a showstopper in terms of getting things done. And like internally in our case, we have countries, people in different countries, and sometimes you need to have people signing a document which are not in the same location. So even if you're working remotely or working from home, the organizations that we see more and more are in many geographies. So we saw this requirement, and while we have been, we added basically signing to our Enadoc ECM product, and then we decided late last year to come up with a complete new suite of products. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. And the Evia suite of products, basically Evia Sign, Evia Automate, and Evia Archive. Those are the three products in the product suite. And the unique thing about this is really that most of our comparable companies or competitors would be in either one of these segments, and some of them might have storage plus sign or sign plus a bit. Mostly it's like storage plus sign, but most of the signing companies have just sign. And of course, in I don't know if that's a product name, but most of them have only the signing capability. And what we have done is quite interesting. Now I'm the only one talking, so maybe you should also say something. But in my view, what is interesting is that you can start out with our product Enadoc Evia with a quite simple, well, not simple, but quite simple to use but complex features signing product that you can use in small organizations or individually. But as your requirement grow, or if you have a deeper requirement, you can do much more than that if you add automation and archive to that. So that's what I think is interesting. I mean, I'm very excited about the automation feature, where we actually have a document creation tool where you fill in a form and click, like execute or whatever, and then it creates an NDA or a sales contract, or a letter of intent, or anything that your organization work with that creates document and then send it for signing, and you can then send it internally and externally, and then at the end of the process archive it in Evia Archive. I think that's a complete solution really for a lot of organizations which require documents that are being signed. So can you talk a bit about the work on this, Vasanta, because you are the brain behind our software development and how we actually do stuff. I'm more having the idea to do it, but how we actually do it is something that so what is the technology behind this?
Yes, Lars, thank you very much. So you took almost 5 minutes, by the way.
I'm sure.
Yeah, okay.
I could have taken 10, but
I know. Okay.
I was too modest today.
Thank you for being considerate. So last, in reality, you were you said everything that needs to be said in terms of explaining the product.
Okay, thank you. We are done for today. So thank you very much for listening to our podcast. And
wait, I have to add something.
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. So you also asked some questions at the end, right? What technologies are we using and what was the inspiration for doing this? So actually, the inspiration for the sign product was, I think, it was you. You were the one who was been having the challenges of signing documents. I think the first time, and you and me were the ones having challenges in the pandemic, right? So when we introduced this sign feature on our existing Enadoc platform, we realized that there are a lot more that can be done, can be more intuitive, and when we looked at comparable other products, we also realized they are so complicated. And so we wanted to make it the right size or simple to use a product. So then when we looked at actually the sign alone, so what do you sign? You sign a piece of paper, and then we start more and more realizing this piece of paper has been ingested by some process, some sort of a process. Somebody types it. So it's maybe sometimes a contract. Sometimes, most of the time, it was for us either bank letters or instructions to the bank, and sometimes it was legal contracts or NDAs. So all these documents get ingested by some sort of a mechanism, and so if you can just extend the product beyond that boundary of just signing, and I think that was the that was the idea for us to bring this document creation desk or creating documents. Of course, the Automate is as a product is much more than that. You have a automatic scheduler and form generator, external connectors, drag and drop kind of workflow designer. So we can talk about that for a day, but if you talk about from the perspective of signing, the Automate gives you the actually the head start to the signing process. And obviously, at the back end, once you sign these documents, it has to be securely kept somewhere, right? And so we use our archive product to archive those documents which are fully digitally signed. That means you can send them to anyone across these documents, and they can verify using simple Adobe Weaver, if you have internet connection, to see whether these documents are being properly digitally sealed. So I'm also taking now, almost 5 minutes, right? So I also don't want to take all the time from you. So can I give you back, if you have any other,
No, I think I was more, thinking about some aspects of the, what's the platform we are using, what are some of the technologies we have been using to make sure this happens in a secure way.
Sure.
And so on. I mean, obviously we have Enadoc, which we have, decades of experience. It's running on the Microsoft Azure cloud, secure and safe, and the same with our other automation product, which is called Flodo. So really, this suite is now a kind of an integrated solution. And so, can you tell a bit about the technology behind it for those geeks out there?
Yeah. So last, our product line used to have been started with .NET very, very early stage. So it has gone through few generations, and the latest Evia, the application suite, is developed around .NET Core. So and deployed in the latest technologies that has been the buzzwords. If I heard about containers and Kubernetes, and we use all the new technologies which is available, and of course, all deployed on Azure. So with Azure, we also have significant control over the security and the other aspects of the of the product, because and in fact we are now we are running a full DevOps operation. So that means the product is live, updated on frequencies that we have selected, and when after it is launched, we will also are looking at providing a sort of, if customers are looking for specific geographies to have their to keep their information in, because of the certain requirements of the certain countries of that they need to hold the information within the boundaries, geo boundaries. So we will be able to provide all those different to cater to all those requirements as well when the product goes live. Did that answer?
So yeah, to a certain extent, of course, honestly, the technology is important for us because we are developing, right? And we need to be agile and fast in terms of getting new features out. We need to make sure the solution is robust, because it is going to be, for many organizations, a mission critical tool, set of tools. I mean, if it doesn't work, then they cannot do their job. If it's down, they cannot do their job. So, of course, it's very important for people to understand that we are using the best of available technologies and systems in place to make sure we have a maximal uptime. I mean, I was just it's a little bit of a sidetrack, but it's important to understand. We have a client in our other part of our business, in the Microsoft business, who is running a mission critical application on Azure. And 2 days last week, the application was down for 20 seconds. And it created some issues for them. What is important to understand is it was down for 20 seconds, 2 days in a row. And that was the first time the application has been down for 740 days.
Yeah, it's interesting.
So that's a kind of reliability. Of course, some applications, even 20 seconds is a concern. But of course, when you compare to how reliable those solutions are in the back end, it means we have basically 100% uptime on these kind of things, because we are using the same stack of technology, right?
So
and maybe if your signing solution is down for 20 seconds, you are not going to, go down as a business. But definitely, I'm very comfortable with our solution as such, plus the redundancy and so on. But of course, for a user who needs to get a document signed, it's more about the functionality of the signing solution or automation. It's more about the user friendliness, the user experience in that, because we are just expecting, of course, the backend is working. But since we have like the chief architect with us, I think that would be interesting just to hear about that. So that's why I asked.
Last, the rising.
What I think,
I think I have one comment on that. I think this is rising level of expectation. We always want systems to be up and running for 100% of the time, but that is how we expect our, even when you buy a laptop or even a desktop or local data center, that's our expectation. But of course, that is not really true, right? But with the cloud, this expectation has become really, really high now. The reason is, I think the level of failures what you see is very little, but still it feels like I think we also had some service degradation, last week for 1 or 2 days with some some systems that we use. But it's like world is over kind of feeling, when this happens, right? I mean, it's interesting to see that
Yeah.
how our expectations are going, leveling up. So as well, our
Yeah.
products and the product quality and user experience and everything has to go along with that. So I think that's a very important part of the whole, solution.
Yeah, I used to have a Land Rover in my Dubai days, and it every time I get down from the building and towards the car park, I never look at the car. I look under the car to see if there's any oil dripping. Every time I get into the car, now I have a Toyota. I never look at the car. Now I'm in shock if it doesn't start. Right? I mean, it's all like you said about the expectation. In those days, I was happy when I approached my car and there was nothing leaking underneath. So yeah, of course, this is different. When you have a reliable product. But anyway, so getting back to the functionality, I wanted to talk a bit about that because I think we have been on an interesting journey. So I think as an organization, as much as we have been able to, we have already adapted digital signing because of our distances before the pandemic, office in Sri Lanka, Philippines, Bangladesh, and so on. As much as possible, if it has been possible to sign a document digitally, we have done it using different applications and things like this. So when we started the building our own solution, we didn't start from scratch. We came with experience, what we liked and what we didn't like, what are the features we were missing, and then we built I would call it a minimum viable solution into Enadoc. And the reason we built a minimum viable solution was really because we needed something quick, and we need something that what we could develop quick, but it will work and solve the problem. And then also the way Enadoc is developed, which is an enterprise scale product, it was very it's more rigid to implement a complete new feature like this. So at the end of the day, we have spent maybe from that time until today a couple of years using our own internally developed signing product inside Enadoc. So when we started to develop Enadoc Evia Sign, it actually came with a lot of own experience. Very often when people develop a product, they don't develop it because of their own need or their own experience. They develop it because they see an opportunity in the market or there's a request for a client. But in this case, we actually have been kind of a hardcore user of our own technology for quite some time. And a lot of the features that you see in Evia Sign is based on our own internal requirements. And like this morning when we had a roadmap meeting, and we looked, for example, how our internal legal is now using the prototype of Evia Sign or the beta site of Evia Sign and Automate to create all kind of legal agreements. It's actually kind of mind-blowing to see how a solution like that can help a function like legal in a company to do the job. Like, okay, we need an NDA. Of course, there's a certain set a number of data we need, but the rest of the NDA is a standard legal agreement that has already run through, all the processes of legal vetting to make sure that is a correct legal NDA that we want to use. But now every time that this document needs to be created, it's a matter of filling a template, like a small form, where you enter the standard data of the NDA, and then boom, it's done. And if it was just an NDA, it would not probably be a big deal. But in our legal department, and we are just a small company with one legal officer, we already have, 10, 15 different type of legal agreements that we are using all the time. And it's just taking some manual process and making it automated. And at the same time, it's saving time to do that. It also ensures that you don't do the human mistakes, forgetting to put a field or forgetting to update this or forgetting to update that. It's always completed based on the data that is input in the template, and then send for signing, right? So it's quite interesting to see how a simple you think a simple thing like signing could be more automated. Also, I like the other thing that in our sign product we have like sign here. Typically when I get document to sign manually, there's all these small notes, like sticky notes. I think they are also this post-it notes, sign here. So when we get a legal document, or sorry, a electronic document, sometime 20 pages, how do we know where to sign? Do we have to go through each and every page to see where to sign? And now with our product, we can say, okay, Lars, you sign boom, boom, boom here. And we put a note, a small little tag on those notes, on those pages. So in a legal, let's say, for example, an NDA, I don't need to read it every time because it's a standard legal document that we create. So I need to go to those pages and sign. And now I can just click and sign and apply my signature very fast. I think that's very cool. We can invite people outside our organization to sign. For example, in our case, we have our board of directors. Of course, board of directors include people who work for the company, who have a company email address and can be authenticated in the system internally. But we also have people outside. Now we can include them in our workflows, right? I think there's many cool features there that really will make this product a huge help to any organization that implement it. So I'm very excited about that. And of course, then everything that you sign, everything that you create, you need to archive it. I mean, imagine that most of the products in the market where you can sign, they don't include an archive. That means if you want to find a document that you signed last year or 2 years ago,
Good
you
luck.
have to open that application and find it in some inbox, right?
Good luck for you, Lars. So with the
Yeah, right.
yeah,
I mean, here we have a top end, enterprise strength, enterprise content management system for archiving your signed documents as well. Of course, what I also like is that these products then can extend, right? I mean, now we are just talking about signing, but as you said, automation is not about signing only, right? It's also about doing some repetitive tasks. Like in our company, we do our travel planning. So if somebody wants to travel somewhere, they use that. Certain HR things, processes can be done, onboarding, offboarding. I was shocked the other day when I saw the amount of processes that there are to onboard a new employee.
absolutely.
And so I'm sorry, your contribution to this call is like absolutely, but I'm just excited. So yeah, now I will take a glass of water and listen to you, Vasanta.
Yeah, so I mean, this is always what you do. You tell everything, and you're asking me to talk. So what am I going to talk about now? Right? And I think one of the things that you missed. So I was waiting for this chance. Yeah. So you were not being able to talk about the security, right? So when you sign, how can you make your signatures secure? So one of the interesting things that we have introduced is we have introduced this OTP, one-time password, via SMS or email. So customers can choose to have a level of security one step higher than the normal security. Normally we send it via email, and you can also opt in for a one-time password or one-time password to the mobile as a SMS. So which helps you to have a kind of two-way authentication when people are signing, and also to make sure that the only intended recipient is having the permissions to sign the document. So I think that was something that is something which is available on very expensive solutions. Whereas we have this one introduced at even for smaller scale customers who can because the security is not only for the large or big boys. It is for everyone today, I guess, and everybody is having a risk of having other people infiltrating into their systems, or snooping or listening to your systems and trying to getting into your system. So I think we believe that it is important that we need to have this security available for everyone. I don't know whether people would like to listen to us for the whole day. Otherwise, I can start talking about our scheduler, which is also a very cool new tool that we have, so which can automatically fire kind of reminders or start a process that can lead to generating a contract and sending it to for signing, and to end up in the archive. So if you wanted to know more, I think you have to just wait a while, I guess. We can't show it today, right, Lars? Or I mean, you have to sign up, right?
Yes. So I think the interesting thing here with this product suite is that you can actually try Enadoc Evia Sign for free, and you can sign up and try to use the product yourself before you commit to subscribing to the service. It's a subscription service, so you don't have to have a big investment up front. And you can use it and pay as long as you want. And if you don't want to use it anymore, you can also unsubscribe. So that is there. We are launching on September 1st, which I believe is a Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. And so we are spending the next 1 month making sure everything is really right in terms of user experience, because at the end of the day, most of the solutions are great in the back end, but it's the user experience that need to be there. So we can only try and really get the user experience correct when we get users to use it, and that's what's going to happen in the next couple of weeks. We are going to have our own and external users use the solution, and then we will do a little bit tweaks, and then we are ready to launch on September 1st. And if you go to our website, we will put the link in the comments or description or something. You can actually go and sign up to be to get notified when we launch, and also there's a chance to win a subscription for Enadoc Evia Sign for 1 year for free for the 10 people, not who sign up first, but we will select 10 people randomly out of the people who sign up. So that's at least something. And look forward to talking more about this in the future. Actually, I would like to get our legal executive in the call, and also one person from our HR people and culture who are the heavy users of this product, to kind of give a review. What is the things that they like, and what are the things that they think we should improve, and so on. As honest as possible in the next call. So anyway, that's, I think, is for the next time. And the product is launching on September 1st, as I said, and then we are gradually adding some more features over the next 2-3 months with some more different kind of features in terms of use cases that can be supported, including the automate and archive as well, that will be gradually launched. So look forward to seeing all of that happening. And I also want to send a thank you to our development team, software development team, that has really been working hard on this over the past few months. And basically most of them are in Sri Lanka. It has been a challenging situation for them. So I appreciate all the hard work of that team and our support, software support development team there. So looking forward to a great launch on September 1st. And thank you, Vasanta, for not talking too much today.
Yeah, last, I also wanted to add, listening to all critics, and we have been able to survive, for last few months is also an important thing, right? Your review. So
thank you. I just realized that whoever is sitting in the back end and pulling the strings in this had actually muted me to let you speak. So maybe that was a hard stop to allow you to come with some more words.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much. Take care. Thank you. Bye, Vasanta.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you for listening. Don't forget to rate and review our podcast, and be sure to subscribe to get the latest updates. Let's talk again soon.